Hello, everybody, and welcome to a cEDh TV gameplay. We're with Mons, Pontus, and of course, I forgot the name, Jordan, and with Jordan.
The least memorable member of the team.
No.
Well, Mons is gonna edit this, so it sounds like I said it in a very good succession without looking like
No,
a
we
fool.
should keep it this way.
No. Today I'm actually playing Grenzo Dungeon Warden with 58 creatures. And before you say it's just a meme, I do have Doomsday. So there's a Doomsday combo in here. I don't think Grenzo is like best commander I've ever played, far from it, but it's really fun. If you just want to sit and see what happens behind the door number 2, he's the one to go for. You can do some really cool fun stuff though. Like you can overpower the board with the grind the value, and you can sit there and interact with like Rakdos hate bears and Rakdos value eventually until you get like your Doomsday or whatever strange kiki jiki snoop combo you could think of. But that's what I'm doing.
Pontus, what the fuck?
Yeah. So based on the top 16 performance from Silicon Dynasty, where this did make top 16, I am playing Slicer. This list is made by my friend Josh from Elder Drunken Highlander. And Slicer is very interesting in that it puts a really fast clock on the game by just passing Slicer around and hitting everyone. So the goal of the deck is to power out the Slicer and then try to stacks out the board a bit, so Slicer can just kill people before they can act. And hopefully I will be able to do that.
And now that we had a slice of Slicer, here we go with me on Kraum Thevesh, my Grixis fun stuff, what I call Frankenstein Stratai Modernus, the typical Grixis mid-range deck list that has a different combo with Time Sieve and Reaver Cleaver. You know, combo number 4. If all else fails, go with the beats.
I am playing a favorite of Pontus's. This is TNT Turbo Hermit Druid, but we're trying out the new Planeswalker because he's real good. What we're trying to do, because he makes Hermit Druid hasty, and we get him from the graveyard and do it that way. So it just speeds it up a little bit and adds a little bit of an extra threat, and seems real good and fun.
And with that, let's take a look at our opening hands.
Alright, opening 7, let's go. If we can top deck a land here, we can maybe drop a turn 1 Kraum, a turn 2 Kraum into Dockside, Ristic Study, and then Reaver Cleaver, but it's kinda... I wish there was more mana here. You know what? No, restart. Spell Pyro has Ristic Study, no fast mana at all, just protection spells. I don't feel like this is what we need. Going to 6. Yep, this is a 6 we can keep, because we have Hate for hand, we have Watery Grave for Remora, a Mystical Tutor, and a Fimage, which we don't need. So we can put this on the bottom of the library and have a happy 6.
So this opening hand is like fine, but it can be better. Like sure, we do have the Goblin Recruiter in our hand, but I do have also Torch Curry in my hand, so no. And I kind of want some more acceleration or some better effects to cast early in the game. This hand would be amazing if we had red in it, so we could cast Dockside. A little bit sad about that. So just to play safe, like we could top deck a mountain in 2 turns, but if we don't, we will cry, so Mulligan. Same problem again, going down to 5. What is wrong with this deck suddenly? Where are my lands? I mean, we could keep this and like Simian Spirit Guide Ragavan into play, but that is not good either. Whatever. We're going down to 4. This is also the commander that Mulligan's like really good, because you can toss things to the graveyard in a sequence manner. We're keeping this. So we're obviously gonna bottom all the creatures. So we will put you on the bottom, then we go Shriekmaw, sequence and that thing, and Triskill... No, wait. There we go. Triskelion will be the first creature we hit if we activate Grenzo, which we can do with his hand. So yeah, it's I'm not happy, but it will work out.
This is our opening 7, and it is fantastic. We have the turn 1 Mystic Remora. We have the also turn 1 Sylvan Tutor because of Gemstone Caverns to get our Hermit Druid, so we have the potential to win on turn 2.
Okay, so our starting 7 is really crazy. As long as we can draw a second land before our turn 2, this hand is just bonkers. We have turn 1 Slicer with an extra Ragavan, and if we draw the second land, we can turn 2 equip our equipment on the Slicer, making it a 6/6 double strike who tax a return. This is crazy. This is a hand you always keep, I think. We don't have any stacks. That's a bit of a problem, but I think the gas or pure speed of this hand makes up for it. So yeah, let's smash some phases. And with that, let's start the game.
I have pre-game action. I'm going to put this gemstone canvas into play, and I'm going to be exiling an offer you cannot refuse. Go ahead, Death.
So we will draw for the beautiful turn. Good luck, have fun. I will play this Bloodstain Mire, I would like to crack it for an Underground Sea. Then I would like to cast this Lotus Petal, and then I like to cast this Mystic Remora.
I pass.
Alright, so Mystic Remora resolves, and then I pass.
Untap and draw a card. Swamp, pass.
I will draw a card. That's a good one. I'm going to chalk in a Breeding Pool. I'm going to tap this for my gemstone for a blue to play my own Mystic Remora.
I would like to draw. Can I?
You may.
I will draw a card. Cool.
And if my fish resolves, then I would like to pay a green and cast a Sylvan Tutor.
I would like to draw again.
Go ahead. I will get Hermit Druid and put it on top of my library and pass the turn.
Take my turn. So 2 fishes, really annoying. Jordan put the Hermit Druid on top. Isn't that big of a problem because I do have the Rolling Earthquake next turn. The only problem being Jordan will probably draw into 1 extra land and interaction to protect the Rolling Earthquake. But my hand doesn't do anything else than just go vroom because it's a card, you know? Let's just go down 6 cards in card advantage and go vroom. Please don't punish me. I'll play Mountain, land for turn. I will cast a Yule Lotus, not paying for Remoras.
Yay!
I will cast Mox Opal, not paying for Remoras.
Yay!
I'll cast Commander's Plate, not paying for Remoras.
Let's go!
Equipment, it's 1 mana to cast, 3 mana to equip Commander, or 5 mana to equip, and equipped creature gets +3/+3, and has protection from each color that's not in your Commander's colored entity. I will cast a Ragavan, and I will cast the backside of Slicer, so you can draw once more.
Yay!
The backside of Slicer has Living Metal, so as long as it's my turn, it's a creature. It has First Strike Haste, it's a 3/2, and when it deals combat damage to player, you may convert it at the end of combat. If that resolves, I would like to go to combat.
Go for it.
And I will attack Death for 3.
I have a very cute idea. You will like it. I will sacrifice my Lotus Petal for a black, let Jordan draw by casting Cut Down onto Slicer.
Oh, it's exactly 3, right?
It's exactly 3/2, so it's exactly 5.
That sucks. Yeah, I have no response. That would have been good to cast at the Hermit Druid Death, just FYI.
You don't know my hand.
Maybe Death has more.
Slicer dies, and I pass the turn.
Mr. Remora dies. Draw for turn. I'll play this here Badlands, and then I will tap these 2 and cast a Valky. ETB, everybody reveal all your hands to me. Good to know what you have in your hand. I will definitely take Hermit Druid, and I take your Playcrafter as well. Well, get nothing from Pontus himself. This game's been fun, as they say. I would like to go past my turn.
Draw a card. Play Mountain. Land drop. Cost Commander. No X. Just a 2/2. And then pass turn.
We're going to get rid of Remora, rather. We'll spend a green to play Carpet of Flowers. We will go to main phase 2. We'll make a black. We don't need to tap our carpet. And we'll cast a Demonic Tutor. I'm going to get a card and pass the turn. Alright, I have my card.
Go to my turn. Play a Mountain, land for turn, and go to combat.
Let's go. Jordan hasn't had plus that he tutored. I recommend that you attack him instead of me. Well, because attacking me is not good because I still have a choice of blocking with Valky because I might have an answer to Jordan's Hermit Druid, which you may not know about.
I disagree. He killed your robot. You should kill him.
That's also a fair point. So here's my logic. First of all, I don't think you'll... Okay, I think you shouldn't block with Valky. Even if you have interaction, that's just... You're losing out on, like... Both that you kind of want the Hermit Druid, because having Hermit Druid and Breach is a pretty good combo, to be honest. On top of that, you also don't want to give it back, so you have to use an extra card to deal with Hermit Druid if Jordan casts it again. Jordan does not have Nas mana unless you play an island next turn, so I don't think he actually went for Nas. I could be wrong, I could be punished on that. But that would also make you have to have interaction for him, which makes you not have interaction for me. So I think, and also you have more live hits for me in your deck, which means I think you are the correct person to hit in my seat. So I will hit you for 2.
And I will take it in my face.
Good job, Pontus. I'm proud of you.
I still think it was the wrong choice. But let's see what you get. Well, I take 2 damage. And you get a Dockside Extortionist.
That's
you see? I was
a
right to
pretty
attack
good
you.
hit.
Yeah.
It's not actually mana positive right now, which is kind of sad, but I do still like that.
You bet on Lady Luck and you were not let down.
Post-combat main phase.
Pontus, can I argue to not cast that thing? Because, like, it's not sure, it's good for you to gain one future treasure, but casting it puts it into game, and not casting it will make it stay in exile forever. Like, he could reanimate it. That's my idea here.
I get your point, and you're not wrong, but I really need the mana to be in this game. My deck does one thing, and that thing is locked behind one more mana. I will cast the dark side. ETB, make a treasure, and then I'll pass the turn.
Nobody has open mana, which means I can do Arid Mesa. I will crack the fetch. Here's a Volcanic Island, a mana vault. Then I will tap the vault with the Enigrancy, making 4 mana. Use 2 of it for a Cabal Ritual. I unfortunately have only 6 cards in it, so we will make 3 mana. So I have 2 left from the mana vault plus 3, that makes 5, which means I can cast Thevesh Doom of Fools. I will uptick him plus 2 to make 2 little Thrall friends, so that we have many friends in this game, and I can block a monkey next time. Pass the turn.
Untap and draw a card. Put this mountain into play. Then I'm gonna activate Grenzo. And as I've already mulliganed a card to the bottom of my library, I've programmed my deck, so I'm gonna put the Triskelion into play. It will come into play with 3+1/+1 counters on it. Combat, Grenzo is attacking at Thevesh.
Block with a Thrall.
And then I pass the turn.
Carpet Flowers, I'm going to add a white mana. Oh, is it 2?
Mm-hmm.
Fun. Okay. Ooh, that might change things. We'll make 2 green mana then. We'll tap our Gemstone Cavern for a white, and we're going to source the Plowshares, the Valky, and give me back my Druid.
I will cast a Dispel.
That's no fun. Yep, unfortunately that'll go through. Cast this Combat Courier, and we will cast a Thracios, and we will pass the turn.
Tap 5 mana to cast the backside of Slicer. Then I would like to move to combat. I will attack Jordan with the 3/2 First Striker, and Death with a Ragavan.
I'll take 2. You get a Spire of Industry, so nothing.
Oh, I wish I could play that. Make a treasure, and Slicer has a combat damage trigger where he flips, and it's now a 3/4 double strike haste. And then I will pass the turn.
I will go to my upkeep.
In your upkeep, Slicer will trigger, and I will give you control of Slicer.
You give me a Slicer that I cannot even sacrifice.
And it's coded.
I have a Slicer on my side. Draw a card for my turn and cast a Vampiric Tutor. I'll find this card and put it top of my library. Then I would like to activate Thevesh to sacrifice a creature to draw 2 cards. I will sack the Thrall because I cannot sack Slicer, sorry, to draw 2. I would like to cast this here, Phantasmal Image. Phantasmal Image will enter as a Dockside. ETB.
I can sack this treasure in response to TP.
So there's 1, 2, 4, 5 mana total. And then I would like to go to combat. I will send Slicer towards humans.
I guess this is gonna... Wait, I don't need my life total for a while. I can take that. 6 damage.
6 commander damage. And then I would just like to pass the turn casually.
I will gain Slicer on my turn. Tap and draw a card. I'm gonna play this fetch land and crack that fetch land. I'm gonna find a Blood Crypt and lose 2 life. And then we're gonna activate Grenzo once. View the bottom. That's a pretty good hit, actually. So I find Canal Dredger. It has an ability to tap it. Put target card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library, which means that I can sit and reanimate creatures forever, kinda, with Grenzo and this thing. Then it has a bunch of other draft abilities, but we don't care about that. But I will activate Grenzo again. View the bottom card. We have Grenzo Havoc Racer.
So legend rule,
And then combat. I'm gonna send Slicer at your face, Death, and Triskelion at... No, nothing. No, let's send Triskelion at Jordan's face.
Yeah, sure. I'll take 6 from that commander.
I will exile the top 2 cards of each of your libraries with my Grenzo. Actually, double strike means that I exile the top 2 cards from Death's side.
You get a Praetor's Grass and a land.
And then all of those are going to exile and I pass the turn.
I will draw a card. So I'm going to make 2 white mana. Play Tarnished Citadel. We're going to play a Ranger Captain Vios. We'll get a Nomad, pay 3 life, and make a white mana. Tap that to cast a Draneth Magistrate. Alright, combat, Death, we're going to attack you with a robot.
I'll block with Fake Dockside.
Pass the turn.
I would like to equip Commander's Plate on Slicer.
I will have to pass on this, even though I'm not happy about it.
Well, I can block that. I have red creatures.
You can, yeah. I would then like to go to combat. 12 at Jordan and Ragavan at Death.
Of course, 24. Here's a Chain of Vapor.
Creates a treasure and exiles Chain of Vapor. And I'll just pass the turn.
End of your turn, I have effects. I will sack 2 tokens, and I will Alchemist Retrieval cleave that Ranger Captain of Eos back to your hand, Jordan. Ranger Captain to your hand back. You're sacking it in response. In response to that, I will sack a treasure and cast a Mystical Tutor. Toxic Deluge on top of my library. This fizzles. Chain of Vapor just in exile, and I can go to my turn, right? Draw a card. So I will play Polluti Duty. I would like to fetch basic Swamp. Move to combat with Slicer towards Jordan. This one's lethal, if it connects.
I will block with my courier.
YOLO. I'm gonna uptick Thevesh and sacrifice my Valky to give back the creatures that I stole from you to draw 2 cards. Cast the Toxic Deluge for 7. Everything dies. I get my dark side back.
Actually, I will respond by dealing 3 damage to your Thevesh.
And now that the board is cleared, I would like to pass the turn.
Draw a card. So you gave this back to me. I want to cast my Playcrafter. Everyone has to sacrifice a creature or planeswalker. So you have to sacrifice that Thevesh. Everyone who doesn't have to discard a card. So I will sacrifice Playcrafter. And then I pass the turn.
I will add 2 green to my carpet. We'll spend 2 green and a black to cast Tyvar.
I have a response to Tyvar. I would like to pact Tyvar.
Pact on Tyvar. Yeah, that'll do it. He'll get countered. Then I will spend 2 to cast Hermit. Alright, pass the turn.
This is just a card I would never cast normally, so I'm not used to how you calculate positions with it. 4 mana from the Ashes.
What?
Destroy each non-basic land card. Its controller may search a basic land card. I killed Death, and Jordan has a hard time finding a win.
This is an interesting card. I'm super happy. I pass. Mega satisfied.
I'm passing, obviously, since I cannot do anything. So I lose my 3 non-basic lands. Let me find my thing.
I will find a mountain. A swamp.
I will find an island.
Pass the turn.
I actually think Pontus is kind of king-making for me. He literally killed Jordan, and he can't really cast his commander for a while. Death is still in the game, but he's also set back quite a lot. I'm kind of unaffected by this. So, yeah, my rebuild plan is going to be pretty good forward here, so.
Alright, upkeep. In my pact trigger, I will cast this Dark Ritual.
Oh, that's awesome. Surviving the pact trigger.
If that results, I'll use the 3 and the 2 treasures to make double blue to pay for my pact trigger.
Oh, now we actually lose to Jordan. This wasn't in the plans.
I'm not going down that easily, I told you.
You almost killed 2 people there because Jordan can't use carpet unless if Death dies.
Play this Mana Crypt, exile the Simian Spirit Guide, cast Kraum. Pontus, take 4 in the air.
Sure, no blocks.
Untap and draw a card. I'm gonna tap out all my 4 mana and cast this Scarecrow that can reanimate lands from my graveyard. And I have a bunch of those there. And after this, I pass the turn.
Alright, go to my turn. Heart of the cards. Hey, we got there. We'll play a land. We'll spend 1 green in this to collect a oof. We'll use the other green to Hermit Druid and do the thing. I have no basic lands in my deck, so I'm going to put my whole library in my graveyard. Then since Narcomoeba went from my library to the graveyard, it comes into play. Dread Return is a card that is in my library that's now in my graveyard, and it has flashback by sacrificing 3 creatures. So I will sack these 3 creatures, targeting Thassa's Oracle.
We have a Crown trigger. I will draw a card, and it's not an answer.
I have an response. This very macabre and force you to exile Thassa's Oracle from your graveyard, which means that Dread Return will fizzle and we survive. This is an ability, so this can't be counterspelled as well. It's a pretty good interaction versus these kinds of strange things. Okay, since Jordan can actually not use Memory's Journey to survive because he needs green mana, he only has black-blue mana. Carpet can make him green, but that's in main phase, so Jordan will actually die soon. We're gonna exile the Dockside Extortionist from you, Death. And then my fairy goes to the graveyard. Rakdos Control!
I'll take my turn. I would like to tap 2 mana to cast this Underworld Breach.
I pass on Underworld Breach.
I will exile this from the Ashes, this Ragavan, and this Rolling Earthquake to cast this Yule Lotus.
That's your second cast trigger. I will draw a card from Kraum.
And then I'll pass turn. Underworld Breach sacks itself.
That was funny.
It is, right?
Yeah, I will go to my turn. untap Mana Vault trigger. I will not do it. Then 3 mana to untap. It's 4 mana to untap Mana Vault. And then I will roll for Crypt. It's heads. Everybody can see that? Mana Crypt. Good boy. Play this Painless Morphic pool. I will tag Mons for 4.
You sure about that? Like, my 1/1 is hitting pretty good at you right now.
I will risk it for the biscuit.
I take 4.
I have 5 mana. I can do what I want. I can live the dangerous high life.
I'm gonna untap and draw a card. Look at that. Combat first. Let's attack with this creature at you. There, death for 1 damage. But trigger, I will return this Blood Crypt into play. My first and only spell is my commander Grenzo, Dungeon Warden, for exactly 4 mana. And then I pass the turn.
Go to my turn. Land per turn will be a plus of heroes. Pay 7 mana to cast Slicer. Then I'll go to combat. Vroom. Attack death for 3. Vroom.
I'll take 3, go to 6.
Post combat, it flips, and then I'd like to pass my turn. In your upkeep, you can have a Slicer.
A little slice of heaven is on my side, but I will do one thing first, and that is roll for this amazing crypt. Heads again, no damage. I will ponder. I'll look at the top 3. I'm gonna attack with Slicer and Kraum over at Mons.
I will take it all. I will take all the damage.
I will snap the Slicer back to your hand, Pontus.
I pass.
And then I will untap 2 lands, which is these 2, with 1 mana floating. And then I'll cast a Wheel of Fortune.
No response.
Alright, everybody discard your hands. I have 0 cards in hand, FYI.
This was really bad. I had the win on my turn. Pretty solid win on my turn. Good job there.
So what happens now? We all draw 7 cards, right? And then I will continue my turn. Tap the Mana Vault for 3 colorless. Add 1 black. I will leave 2 colorless floating. I'm gonna cast a Tainted Pact. Demonic Consultation is the first ring. No, that's sad. That's gone. Displacer Kitten. 2, 4. No, I can cast that next. Ancient Tomb, no. Cyclonic Rift, no. Meme Betrayal. Alright, I will stop at the Mnemonic Betrayal. Cast Mnemonic Betrayal. Alright, I will exile all of your graveyards with 1 colorless floating. So I will do the Crawl Mox from your hand, from your graveyard, Pontus. And I will exile my own Red Elemental Blast for it. And then I'll tap the 1 colors which I had remaining, plus that to cast Mons' Underworld Breach. And now I have to go to my graveyard now that the breach is in play. I have to exile 3 lands to cast a Lotus Petal, cast a Dark Ritual. I will exile Valky, Mystic Remora, and Toxic Deluge for that. So I have 3 black. I will cast Lotus Petal again, exiling Watery Grave, Dispel, and Phantasmal Image. I will use 2 of the black to cast a Cabal Ritual, exiling those 3 lands that you blow up for me. Go to 5 black, I will cast a Vampiric Tutor, go to 3 life. I'll find this mysterious card that I will show. Go down to 4 black to recast the Dark Rid, exiling a Alchemist Retrieval, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Cabal Ritual. Brain Freeze is on top of library. I have 7 mana black, right? Cast the Dark Ritual, again go the 7, makes 6. So go to 9, exiling the Snap, the Pact, and the Vampiric Tutor. For 7 mana, I'll cast Thevesh Doom of Fools. I will uptick into sack Kraum and draw 3 cards. I still have plenty of mana. Sack the Lotus Petal for blue, Brain Freeze myself. I only have 46 cards in my library. So with all the Stormcloud, because Stormcloud is more than 3, I have assembled Brain Freeze, Lotus Petal, Underworld Breach, which means I will mill enough cards to recast Lotus Petal enough times until I hit Lionside Diamond to keep milling myself and then win the game with a fast. This was an awesome game and I'm thankful for it. So GG to everyone for sticking till the end.
So super close to winning. That wheel in the end saved the day because he was hellbent, so he wouldn't be able to counter my Doomsday, and Pontus didn't have any form of interaction versus a Doomsday, so yeah, but wheel happened, didn't stop that.
All in all, Slicer getting removed a bunch of times really hurts deck when it's purely built on just surviving and attacking. Sadly, we didn't get there.
But I learned a new thing while we were doing this, and I was thinking about doing it, and I think Pontus knows what I wanted to do. I learned that Legend Rule sacrificing does not count as a sacrifice. In other words, when I played that Phantasmal Image, I could have made a copy of Slicer and killed the original Slicer, the one that cannot be sacrificed, because Legend Rule doesn't say, it doesn't count as a sacrifice, it counts as a death.